I think what John Allen, and he had ambitions to be an Ed Murrow in the future, and he wanted a legitimate, and we were not considered very legitimate in rock and roll radio. He wanted to be a legitimate newscaster, so he didn't want to use his name. He never used his name. And he didn't want his face shown, and he hoped to become a television newscaster. He was a good-looking guy, and I know he went to ABC network radio as a newscaster later, but I don't know if it ever continued about.
Top 40 started on QIA, going up against one of Kobe in '58. By the fall of '59, you left. And you signed off with going back to your favorite jazz music, as I recall, signing off with the engineer Paul Duche. Yeah. What did it just drive you nuts? What was it about QIA and Top 40?
It was, well, first of all, I'll be very frank, I didn't like the music. Well, I loved the big bopper. You know what I like. And yeah, some of the stuff, but in general terms, I was a jazz fan, to tell you the truth. And my love was Kobe, by the way. Kobe, the rocker that was writing something. But anyway, it was the format of the station that really did drive me nuts. But I had to play a different role. I played Mike Flynn as an actor. Acting out the part with tremendous enthusiasm for every possible sponsor and every possible aspect of the news. And of course, every song that we played was grand and great. And it was so fast. We had to talk, I guess, all the time, didn't we? Oh my God. Yeah. Mike Flynn sitting in with record spin and all of that kind of stuff. And so finally, it finally got to me. I got riled. One guy really cracked up on the air. One of the older fellows who left over from the earlier, he actually did it. I had to come in from Mill Valley and take his place on the Sunday. He was It's true. It's true. And he never was back on the air again. I mean, it was a tough thing to do. And you're doing it for 4 or 5 hours at a time. And Logan, lucky Logan, next to me here, at one time did one of the stunts was that he stayed up for how many hours? 48 or 55? 108 hours. But at one time they had a mentalist hypnotize you, supposedly. Oh yeah, and I'll tell you, he weighed about 128 pounds at that time, and I think it went down to 110 or something. So it was a nerve-wracking thing.
Yeah, sure. Not just in the studio, but as with stunts like with Norman, the sleepless disc jockey, who was all during that 4-day run.
And we had a guy buried underground at one time, Dick Rodell. Oh, bigger. Too. Yeah. Crazy, wild stuff. You know that.
Norman, here you are, DJ. You came here in 1955 from Spokane to work at, I believe, a country station at one of Jim Gadger's, KSAY. And that's where you were given your first, maybe one of your first fake radio names, Al Knight. And then you're drafted by KYA, fighting Kobe, and now they're watching Logan. What did that do to you?
Well, I was pretty young and naive, and I went along for the ride. But Bartell, somebody had worked for Bartell at one of their stations and become very popular and left, and was using his own name, and they really didn't like that. So from then on, anybody who came to work for them had to take one of their company names. And they used the same names in Milwaukee and in Atlanta and in San Diego. And Lucky Logan, I think, was one they had used in Milwaukee. And so that's what they stuck me with when I went to work.
And you were lucky for a number of
well, a year or so. I was lucky until Les Stein, Les Crane, was hired as the program director, and he did a lot of wonderful things at KYA. You know, I should mention, hard to comprehend if you never heard the Bartell Family Radio formula for on-air broadcasting. There was never anything like it. Their MO was to cram the hour full of as much stuff as you could put on the air. Not necessarily music, just stuff. Like our log was a legal size document, single space, for 1 hour. That was 1 hour of stuff. So they had public service announcement, the mayor's report,
news.
Yeah, anything they could come up with to separate the spots, which there were many of those too.
And sound effects. Just sound
effects. Yeah, we had buttons. One was an echo. One was a beeper. I don't know. We had 3 or 4 of those. And I claim a couple of records. I played, in 1 hour, I played 4 2-minute records. The rest of it was, blackety black and whatever else they could come up with. But this was their method. They would buy a station in trouble for cheap, and then they would send these salesmen out with orders to get a sale no matter what. So if they could sell you 10 spots, they would give you 10 free game spots. How many times can you write the word Greyhound on a postcard? A program director who had to come up with these games was going nuts. I once had 11 contests in 1 hour. So it was really like nothing I'd ever heard before.
I'm surprised you can go nuts within a year, like Bob did. But Bob wisely moved over to television and got involved in production. You stuck it out and you hauled it out. And you got, in your scrapbook, I believe, you have a collection of memos from the program director. And in one particular case is Chris Lane, who also had a DJ shift. And he's on you because one evening you spent about an hour and a half interviewing a Playboy bunny. On the air, of course.
Well, what happened, I was there alone at night at one hour circle, and the doorbell rang, and so I went down to see who it was, and here was this very buxom woman, June Wilkinson, who had done a sailor's strand in Playboy. And with her was an old character actor named Douglas Fowley, who you may have seen in many, many movies. Usually played the drunk at the bar or something like that. And they said, we're here to plug our new movie, which was some voodoo, I don't remember the title of it. But I really couldn't resist those twin 44s. And so I invited them in. I don't think it was an hour and a half. It was more like maybe half an hour, but it was certainly a good station policy. And I have a nasty memo which is over in that scrapbook.
A lot of nasty memos. That's when you came to be later. And real great, so Bob Brannon, talking about the pressures of a disc jockey. Didn't he commit suicide?
Bob Brannon hung himself with a poster cord from his shower. He was just under so much pressure, and he had been promoted from program director to some other title. And the main thing I remember about that was Bobby Mitchell, who had a wicked sense of humor, started talking about Bob Brannon's kids at breakfast, saying, "We want toast. We want toast."
That was top 40 humor. Top 40 humor. The emotion promotions, all part of the game, and you yourself had to go through that because in 1962 came yet another change, programming change that resulted in you suddenly becoming a news guy because they wanted a new young jock from Buffalo.
Well, they would have fired me if they could, but we had a union contract there with IBEW, and they had a basic complement of 5 staffers, of which I was one, and Tony Tremaine was another, and they couldn't fire me. So they did the next worst thing, which was they put me in the news department, gave me Monday night off, and waited for me to quit, which I eventually did.
And in came from Buffalo, from WKBW, Russ of Moose, Syracuse, and